Quadratic equations. A parabola has a y-intercept of 5 and contains the points 2, -3 and -1, 12. Find coordinates of its vertex. So let's first try to find the equation of parabola and then we can find the vertex. So in general, equation of a parabola could be written as y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. Now we're given 3 points. When we say y-intercept of 5, that means the point is 0 and 5, right? So in this case, our coordinates for the point are 0 and 5, where 0 is the x value and y value is 5. So we can substitute these values and get one equation. So 0 will give us 0 here plus 0 plus c, and from here we get 5 is equals to c. So we got from the first point our first parameter, which is c, right? So now we have our equation as y equals to ax squared plus bx plus 5. Now in this equation we can plug in these 2 points and get 2 more equations. Then from those 2 equations we can solve for these 2 variables, right? So let's substitute 2 for x and -3 for y. So we'll use the point now 2 and -3. So if we do that, we get -3 equals to 2 squared. Okay, so let me first write 2 itself plus b times 2 plus 5, right? So that is equals to 4a plus 2b plus 5. And we can simplify, taking 5 on this side, we get -8 equals to 4a plus 2b. Dividing by 2, we get -4 equals to 2a plus b, right? So that is kind of a simpler form for the given equation. And let's call this equation as equation 2 for us. Now let's substitute the third point. So the third point for us is -1 and 12. So if I put -1 and 12 in our equation, which is this one, right? Let me call this equation as 2 and let me call this as 3, okay? So we'll substitute -1 for x and 12 for y. We get 12 equals to a times -1 squared plus b times -1 plus 5. Bringing 5 to the left side gives us 7. 12 minus 5. -1 square is 1, so we get a here minus b. So a minus b equals to 7, and let's call this as equation number 4. Now if we add equation 3 and 4, what do we get? So let's add equation 3 and equation 4 so that we can solve for a. So if we add them, then we get 7 minus 4, which is 3, right? So 7 minus 4, which is 3, equals to 3a, or a equals to 1. So that is our equation number 5. Now we can substitute 5 in 4 to get b, right? So sub 5 in 4. So that is how we can systematically solve our equation. That means we substitute 1 for a, or b will be equals to a minus 7, which is indeed 1 minus 7, right? So b equals to -6 for us. Now if b is -6 for us, then what happens to the equation? So let's first call this as equation number 6, and let's substitute values of a and b, which is from 5 and 6 in equation 2. So what we are doing is 5 and 6 is being substituted in equation 2 to get our final answer, which is y equals to a is 1, so it is x squared, b is -6, so -6x plus 5. So that becomes the quadratic equation, right? Now the question is to find the coordinates of its vertex. Now there are a couple of ways to find coordinates of the vertex. So one way to find vertex here is you can do completing the squares, right? That will give you a vertex. Second, you could factor this and then you'll get two x-intercepts, divide by 2. The third and the easiest way is to use quadratic formula. We know at x equals to minus b by 2a, we have the vertex. So that is a shortcut, which is part of completing the squares, right? So at x value of minus b by 2a, we'll get the vertex, right? So that is where the vertex lies. So for the vertex, x is equals to minus b by 2a. So let us substitute that value and get value of x first. So x is equals to minus of b. That means let's write minus here of b is minus 6. Minus 6 upon 2 times a, 2 times 1, correct? So that gives you a value of 6 divided by 2, and that is 3 for us. So at x equals to 3, we have the vertex. We should find the value of y. So y at x equals to 3 is what? So at x equals to 3, y is equals to 3 square minus 6 times 3 plus 5. 3 square is 9, minus 6 times 3 is 18 plus 5, right? So 9 minus 18 is minus 9, plus 5 is minus 4. So we get minus 4, right? And therefore, the coordinates of the vertex will be, let me write it in a different ink. So we get our vertex. Vertex is at x value of 3, right? And y value is minus 4. So that is our answer for the given question, right? So that is the answer. Vertex is 3 and 3 minus 4, right? So that is how we can get the answer. So let's go through this solution once again. We are given 3 points for the quadratic function. The first one is the y-intercept, which is 0, 5. The second is 2 minus 3, then minus 1, 12. So from the y-intercept, we got the value of c, which was indeed the y-intercept. So c is always the y-intercept, right? Now, using these 2 points, we got 2 equations, and solving equations simultaneously, we found quadratic function representing or passing through these 3 points, which was x squared minus 6x plus 5. Now we adopted the method of substituting minus b by 2a for x to find the vertex x coordinates. And once we found that to be 3, we substituted 3 in the equation to get the y coordinate, and so we got the vertex. The alternate way was to do completing the squares to get the vertex, right? Or you could factor it. So easy factoring. 5 times 1 is 5, and if you take both negative, they add up to minus 6, and add them, divide by 2, you get your value of x, which is 3, correct? So that was another way of doing it. Anyway, I hope you learned from here different ways of solving the same question, and I hope that helps you. Thank you and all the best.